What the hell are the Jets doing? Are they out of their minds? And I asked that question, and it's a rhetorical question, but we all know the answer. The answer is yes. And this is why the Jets will never have sustained success. And I think there's a lot of people who don't understand what's really going on here. On the surface, it appears that Aaron Glenn is the one who doesn't know what he's doing. And Aaron Glenn is the one who's firing the coaches. And Aaron Glenn's the one who's reaching out to Gruden. I mean, there are many levels to this, and we'll get to all of them here. But in reality, think about it for a second. Do you think Aaron Glenn, after last season and then going into the offseason, telling most of his coaches, telling some of his coaches, hey, you guys could look for other opportunities, knowing that there were going to be some changes, but also, let's say, the offensive coordinator with Eggstrand here, telling him basically he's going to be retained, and then all of a sudden, now that you get to the point where he's actually fired, let alone like demoting him or trying to bring in this guy or that guy, do you think that that's Aaron Glenn's doing? Or maybe that comes from above. So I always, and we talked about this on episode 8, last episode here, I always believed that Woody was getting involved. But now I know Woody's getting involved because when you see the reports that the Jets reached out to John Gruden about becoming the play caller, the offensive coordinator, like, dude, how dumb can you be? That reeks of rich Woody Johnson, who, by the way, I forget I think the book somebody recommended to me a while ago was Crazy Rich, and I'm still in the middle of listening to it. It's just been like sporadic. I don't really love the book, but you read it or listen to it in my case, and you get insight into why Woody Johnson is just totally out there. Not that he's a bad person. He just does not live in the real world that you or I live in. I mean, it's you understand then, oh, this is why this guy just makes ridiculous decisions. Like the world is his playroom. Like that, it's all toys and games for Woody Johnson. So he's sitting there and saying, well, we had a bad season. Okay, but I like Aaron Glenn. I'm not going to fire him. Maybe we could get John Gruden in here. Yeah, that'll get everybody excited. Yeah, you knucklehead. You should have hired him to be the head coach or asked him to be the head coach. You think John Gruden is going to come to the Jets to call plays under Aaron Glenn? How stupid can you be? That's not an Aaron Glenn thing. That is 1,000% a Woody Johnson thing. Now, Frank Reich, I would also say was probably a Woody Johnson thing, but maybe Aaron Glenn was more on board with that. And I like the idea of bringing in a veteran play caller. If you have a rookie head coach, I mean, the Jets just don't learn. They don't learn. They did the same stuff with Saleh, and now they did it again with Aaron Glenn. You bring in a head coach, and then you bring in inexperience around him. Tanner Eggstrand, okay, Glenn worked with him. They want to bring him up from Detroit, offensive quality control, whatever the hell that means. Quarterbacks coach, okay, you make him the offensive coordinator. And by the way, he wasn't awful. You get Justin Fields. Nobody could coordinate that. I mean, I don't care. Bring in the Norv Turner. Who's the best offensive coordinator? Brian Billick. Bring them all in. Nobody's going to do anything with Sean McVay. He's not going to win with Justin Fields. Anyway, Eggstrand wasn't bad, but I could understand wanting to upgrade and go with a veteran presence. I think Frank Reich is a good fit, so I don't mind that move. And ultimately, I think that's what's going to happen. So while it seems chaotic and embarrassing and another clown show and bad by the Jets, I think when all's said and done, you'll have some stability, hopefully, if they hire Frank Reich and have him be the offensive coordinator. And then defensively, the idea that you'd want Glenn to call the plays, I don't think Glenn wants to call the plays. He wants to be the head coach. He moved up to be the head coach. They should get a real defensive coordinator. But Woody is probably forcing Glenn to call the plays. And that's going to let them get a lesser defensive coach. Look, here's the bottom line. The idea that somebody in the building would think that John Gruden would take that job under Aaron Glenn shows you how far the New York Jets have their heads up their ass. They're out of their freaking mind. So if you wanted Gruden, you should have went after him a year ago to be the head coach. That report is just laughable. The way that they're handling now the coaching staff in year 2, who the hell is going to want to come here? Maybe outside of Frank Reich, who the hell is going to, and I don't even know if that's going to be a done deal or not as we record this on, early Wednesday morning. I don't know if that's going to be a done deal or not. Maybe he's like, you know what, this is not a good spot for me. Although you would think Frank Reich wants to get back to the NFL and do the play call, whatever it may be. I'm assuming they're going to hire him, so I'll give them that. But who would want to come work under this environment? And that's the problem that the Jets have had. You've seen this before. We saw the reports from The Athletic a year ago and the details about Woody and his sons and who's running around there treating it like it's a video game and who's talking this and that and talking to the players. Like, what the hell is wrong with Woody Johnson? Why can't he just hire guys and get the hell out of the way? The one guy who I think knows what he's doing is Muji. And then even Glenn, to a certain extent, there are certain character traits that Glenn has that I remember saying before we ever coached the game, if they just leave him alone, get out of his way, I think he's got the right mentality and right character to turn this around. But what happens is if you don't have immediate success, and by the way, even if you do have immediate success, eventually the owner is going to jump in and start meddling, and that's exactly what you don't want. But if you don't have immediate success and the media and fans are nuts and they're upset and they want everybody fired, now Woody's going to feel like he's got to meddle a little bit. And that's the worst thing that could happen. Whether you or I think Aaron Glenn should be back for a year or two, doesn't matter. Woody hired, like I wouldn't have hired him in the first place. Woody hired him. You can't just make rash decisions after year one. And if you're going to fire his entire staff or force certain things on him, whether it is to call the defensive plays himself, to bring in a veteran offensive coordinator, to demote Tanner Eggstrin, or now to get to the point where you fire him, that you might as well just fire him then and move on. Horrible what the Jets are doing, and a further embarrassment. It's not bad enough Sam Darnold is in the Super Bowl. Not bad enough the Patriots rebuilt within a few years, and they're back in the Super Bowl on what looks to be the beginning of another dynastic run. Is that even a word? I don't know. But another dynasty for the Patriots. That's not bad enough. The Jets have to further embarrass themselves by botching the coordinating thing. It just, what are we doing? Not to mention where they're doing all this. Well, if you do it immediately after the year. It would show that you have a direction. Hey, you know what? This wasn't good enough. In the post-season meeting, Glenn and Woody and whoever are making the decisions, Muji, they're talking about it. Hey, here's what happened. Really, Woody should be listening in. Here's what happened. I don't think the tight ends coach is any good. This guy wasn't very good. We need an upgrade here. We need to change here. Okay, boom, let's do it. This guy out. This guy downgraded. This guy, whatever. Show decisiveness. And instead, it takes a month and they're firing their coordinator. What? The New York Jets, I'm sorry to say this, Bada Booms. I know you're a diehard Jet fan. It's like your number one team and you love them. I'm sorry to say this, but your team absolutely sucks. And even worse, they have no clue. There is no hope with the New York Jets. Just no hope, Bada Booms. What do you think of what's going on here and the latest report? Like when you see the Gruden report, what goes through your mind as a Jet fan when you're seeing the Gruden report?
I mean, there's so much to say with so little time, but also nothing to say at all. When I saw the Gruden thing, I thought to myself, like, is that serious? Like, is that a real headline? Did I really just read that? I think I texted you right away. What are they doing? Or no, I sent you the Beningo video of Beningo screaming. You know when he asked Costello.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, what a disaster this team is, bro.
You are obsessed with Joe Meningo, I've learned. Obsessed.
Yes, he's a genius. He's a legend. He's all the above.
Now, you don't want to be, I was going to say, your nickname in part has to do with Joe Meningo.
Mm-hmm.
Why
I was named after him, too.
No, you weren't.
No, I wasn't. I don't even think Beningo was on the air when I was. Well, he probably was, actually. He was probably doing the overnights.
Oh, okay. Well, Bada Boom's right. You said I don't want to be known as Joe B, so I'm going to be called Bada Booms because there's already an established Jet fan as Joe Beningo, who's Joe B. Anyway, so you're all right. So but you're somebody who, like BT, is just like you kind of reset, unkillable, so to speak. Every year going to the Jets, like, no, this will be the year that they're better, and you guys just never learn.
Wait, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say that.
You believe in this team.
I don't believe in this team. I think their greatest asset. I'm going to ask you what well, actually, let me ask you first. What do you think their greatest asset is right now? What is one thing to be happy about this team to look forward to?
The picks that they have.
So they got a couple $100 scratch tickets. That's what they have. Because that's what first round picks are. They're $100 scratch tickets. In worst case scenario, you get your money back.
I love what Muji did, getting rid of Williams and Gardner. I love that.
Oh, me too. Okay. I think I don't know how well tuned you are on the Jet history. I think you were doing the overnights at the time. They're in a never-ending cycle of being a year away from being a year away, a Groundhog Day, if you will. Yeah. And that's not the first time I've ever said that line in my life. I repeat that every year,
Well,
every 2
it's
years.
the first time somebody's hearing it.
Is it?
Probably, yeah.
So that's a good line you're saying? Put it on a
Yeah, all
T-shirt?
right, go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt. Good.
Oh, I know what you're saying. I know what you're I
Yeah.
get what you're saying here. But going back to that, I don't know if you remember when they got how they got Douglas, right? Do you recall that whatsoever?
Yeah, it was a disaster. That was McCagnon. They let McCagnon draft and then
Mhm.
fired him and went with
And do
Joe
free agency.
Douglas.
He did the
Oh.
whole offseason. But who brought him
Yeah,
in?
Adam Gase.
Adam
Right.
Gase.
His
Who brought
buddy.
Darren Muji in?
Yeah, I know, but it was also at least on the same timeline.
Yes, which is
So
better.
I'm okay with the Muji Glenn. Like, dude, I would have gone experience, but I would have hired Pete Carroll. I said this on the air, and I'm going to stand by it. I would have hired Pete Carroll and kept Aaron Rodgers
Mhm.
and take another run at what the Jets had with some veteran pieces that were supposed to be better than what they were under Saleh, who was inept. I would have tried to get a real head coach in here with Pete Carroll. It wasn't a total rebuild like they needed with Vegas, and keep Aaron Rodgers and see what they could do. They didn't. Fair enough. Carroll failed elsewhere, obviously, to the point where he's fired after 1 year. Jets go with Muji and Glenn, and I actually don't mind it. The results were god awful, but I like the mentality. I love what Muji did, and I like
Yeah.
the mentality of Aaron Glenn. Now we got to see what they could do in year two. But the fact that they couldn't even get to year two without dismantling the staff and looking like they don't have a clue. I know Diana Rossini said that they have a plan, and I believe that that plan is to hire Frank Reich, and they just can't do it right now because they have to do the Rooney Rule and interview minority candidates for the. Okay,
Mhm.
fine for the court. Still, it doesn't excuse the sloppiness in getting here. If you wanted to move on from Eggstrand, you should have done so right after the season started. Not, well, we want to keep you. Well, we want to maybe change your role. Well, we may hire this guy. Well, we may reach out to Gruden. That reeks of Woody getting involved. That's my issue. It's not with Muji and Glenn. It's with the owner. That's the problem, bada booms.
I do want to touch on the Woody thing. I have a good point about Woody, but I want to say, imagine if the Jets had Pete Carroll.
Okay, what? How do you know it wouldn't have been better last year?
Imagine if no, Sal, let me say it again. Imagine if the Jets had Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Imagine if they ever had Pete Carroll.
Oh, ever. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, they did. Right. Obviously, they had him. Were you alive for that?
I
No,
don't
you
think I
weren't.
was. No,
No, it was
I
like
think he went to
97 or something.
USC the year I was born.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
I
I
think
mean,
03.
yeah. Oh, I mean, imagine if they had Bill Belichick, which we'll get to him in a little bit too. They could have if the owner wasn't who he is. Bill left because of the owner. He's the problem. He's the constant. It's almost why I said, you know what? I give up. Just hire Rex because Rex was the only one. And now I don't think that Rex was a good head coach. I think he had success with Mangini's team, but just mercy. I give up. Nobody else could work with this guy except for Rex. Rex knew how to play the game with Woody Johnson, so they're better off just hiring him. Dude, they're a freaking mess. And I'm sorry to say it, but there is no hope. I want to believe there's hope. I hope Muji and Glenn can figure this out even through the Woody BS storm. But all these reports and moves show you that he is the problem. And until he sells the team, and I'm not going to beg for that because it's just not going to happen, I never will believe that the Jets will be able to have sustained success. Maybe a one-off here or there. They will never have legitimate sustained success or really get a real head coach in here as long nobody wants the job as long as Woody's here.
I think that's a great point because I'm getting my escarole and beans licked yesterday about it's going to come back to the Jets should have fired Glenn this year. They should have. Who is going to take this job?
Yeah.
Who's going to take this job this year? I don't
Not
even think
Harbaugh.
Stefanski would have came here.
Yeah, no, he wouldn't have. No,
Harbaugh
come on.
wasn't coming here. I don't
Yeah.
even think McCarthy would have came here at this point. I'd much
Yeah,
rather go to the Steelers.
come on. You couldn't have gotten Robert Saleh, like that level type head coach.
Imagine if the Jets had Robert Saleh.
I mean, but that's who you're looking at. You wouldn't have
Yeah.
gotten somebody. You're right. And my initial thought was, oh man, Harbaugh's available. You got to do what you got to do to go get him. But then I'm thinking, he would never go to the Jets. Same thing with Stefanski. You're not getting those guys. You might have had a shot at Brian Dable. I mean, he might have been an upgrade. Who knows? But you might have had a chance at that. And maybe not. Maybe he would have been like, I ain't going there. He knows too much about it.
If Dable had a year off, I would have been all over him this year. I just think I don't know if you were a big proponent of that. Somebody on 660 was. But I love the idea of giving them a year off and then reset. They can see all the mistakes they made. They can go coach under another tree, learn some different things. But let me touch on the Woody thing real quick before you throw me out of here. Like Terry Collins. Shout out to Terry. Uncle Terry. Do you
Your
really
ass
think
is in the jackpot.
what?
Your ass is in the jackpot. Always, bottom rooms.
He followed me. You know that? He followed me on Twitter the other day.
News break. It's not really him.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
You think
that's sad.
Terry Collins is on social media?
No shot. But I met
Now I
Terry
know who it
Collins one
is.
time.
It is the guy that runs the podcast feed. Great dude, but it's not Terry Collins.
Oh, when me and you are out to potentially out to Port St. Lucie, that's what it is, right? Port St. Lucie.
Mhm.
That's what they play. Oh, that Terry Collins conversation, I'm gonna strive for it. I love him.
You
What a
might not
legend.
make the invite to dinner there. It depends. You're gonna be on trial. You're on trial really the next few weeks.
What?
No, all right, go ahead. Make your Woody point so we
Dude,
can
I
move
could be
on.
a consummate professional if I need to be, but do
Mhm.
you really think Woody Johnson knows who Frank Reich is? Like, all seriousness, Sal.
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I think that he does know who Frank Reich is. You know
Why
what
is
I
he a
honestly
Maryland
believe?
football field fan? Is
You
he a
know what I
Terps
honestly
fan?
believe? Well, no, he also quarterbacked in the league in the NFL maybe before you were born. I don't know this because I have not talked to anybody there. I believe that Boomer. I don't even know if they've talked about this on the air. I just don't listen anymore, for obvious reasons.
Mm.
I believe that Boomer, who is great friends with Reich and former teammates with Glenn,
Roommates too.
yeah, I believe that there was some kind of either connection there or suggestion, maybe from Boomer to Glenn or through back channels, like, hey, maybe Reich said, hey, could you put in the Google? I don't know. I'm just trying to connect the dots here. I would not be shocked if Boomer put Reich in touch with Glenn or somebody in that building and facilitated that whole thing.
I think Frank Reich is going to be a great hire. You should have to find out the other big question of who's going to play quarterback this year. I saw somebody say
Well,
Gino.
come on, dude.
Gino?
Come on. No,
Are you
maybe Kyler Murray.
serious?
So look, you're right. I like that you went there, Bada Booms. Let's
Hmm.
forget Woody because we can't change it. We got everything out of our
Hmm.
system as it pertains to that. And let's just acknowledge like, okay, if they hire Reich, I think that's a good thing. Forget
Hmm.
what went on with X Train and all that stuff. If you end up with Glenn as your head coach in year two, Reich is the offensive coordinator, even if Glenn has to call plays, which I don't like,
Me neither. I don't like it either.
I still think that, okay, it's not the worst thing in the world with Glenn and with Reich. And now go draft your players. Like, despite the chaos and clown show, there is a path for the Jets to be successful
Hmm.
if they hit on the right players and then kind of just keep Woody at bay, keep him the hell out of the way, and have success. So this is not like, oh, the Jets will never, ever, ever win. I just don't believe they'll have sustained success under Woody Johnson because he's proven time and time again he meddles way too much. But I do think that there is reason. Like, this is not, oh, Muji doesn't know what he's doing. No, Muji, I think
I
he
think
does know
Muji
what he's doing.
does.
Yeah, but now the question is he going to be able to is he going to be allowed to pick the guys the way that he wants to do it? Meaning, what if Woody says to him, and this is what we really don't know, but this is the major point. What if Woody says, "I need a quarterback. Get me a quarterback," meaning in the draft,
Hmm.
as opposed to just we'll be okay with whoever, Geno Smith or you can't bring Geno Smith back, dude.
No, I
Come on.
agree with you. But then again, going back to the Woody thing, I think you're giving him too much credit. Like, I really don't think he knows football at all. I think his son knows more football than he does.
Yeah,
I
but
think
I
all
don't
he
want
knows
any of
is
them.
noise, and he
I don't
knows
want
his headlines.
Okay, I don't want any of them making any decision. You, bada boom, you don't understand this.
Mhm,
A lot of people are trying to look at Woody thinking like with our mentality or our brain power and functioning, the way that we lived in this world. You for
mhm,
22 years, me for 46. Like we're like, oh well, why would he do that? He he doesn't understand our world, and we
mhm,
don't understand his world. He's out of touch with reality. And in his world, this is like a board game for him
mhm.
where he takes the pieces and says, "Oh, look, son, let's move this piece over here and see what happens there." Like Squid Games. You've seen Squid Games?
I'm familiar.
A less violent version of Squid Games. Are you familiar with it or no? Because that seemed
No,
like you didn't
of
want.
course, it's a big cultural thing.
Okay, so right. So like the rich people that sit there and put the masks on and
Yeah.
watch these people go kill them. Like that's what Woody's doing. He's the rich person with the mask at the party because he's so filthy rich. Like this is his playground. This is a toy thing. So he can say, "Oh, let's do this," or "Oh, let's do that." Like there's no logical, strategic thought behind it, or human reality, or why this is okay. Or I'm telling you, I like he's just out of touch. And if you read or listen to that book, I think it's called Crazy Rich,
I just
and
looked it up, yeah.
it's about the Johnson family.
Oh, it's
I
actually
guess
about them?
the entire not Woody, the entire Johnson family, but Woody comes up quite a bit in the book. A caller or a listener recommended it to me and actually sent me a copy of the book.
Mhm.
And because it gives you perspective on Woody that is just like, what? I mean, little things about just even paintings on the wall, just being out of touch with what we know as reality. And he runs the football team just like that. And that could be a problem. And by the way, he might not be alone, but we're close to him because we're in New York. So you see that type of ownership and the way he runs the team. And they haven't won in forever. He's a
Never
major.
won. They've never won Woody. They've never won with a
Well, I mean, they did
Johnson
get to,
family member has never had success for the Jets.
I'm saying they did get to back AFC championship games.
Yeah,
Like that is, you got to give him credit for that. Although I think that's more the aberration. Well, not I think it is more the aberration.
it is.
I'm just saying that like the people would say this with the Mets ownership all the time with Wilpons. Well, they'll never have success. Well, under the Wilpons, they did get to the World Series a couple of times. So they lost, but they got to the World Series. You can have some success, or the results may be there sporadically, but just never sustained into the highest levels. So the Jets had some success getting to back AFC championship games under Woody Johnson. It's just never sustainable. And now they've been, if not the worst, one of the worst run franchises over the
Oh, they're
last
the worst.
decade plus. Okay.
They're the worst. They're the Browns. They're the Cubs now. That is, and it's so sad. Go back to your point about the out of touch nature of the Johnson family. My life excuse me. Let me restart that. My
Yeah.
life revolves around the New York Jets, and I don't have any connection to them in real life whatsoever. Woody's life is connected to the New York Jets and doesn't revolve around him whatsoever. Like
Yeah.
every day, to me, it's I used to say all the time when I was in school, I sit there and I doze off in class where they teach about mathematics and history, and I think of that moment when the confetti falls and I hear the words the New York Jets have won after 60 plus however many years it will be, have won the Super Bowl. The sad reality, Sal, that's never going to happen. Like, I'm never going to witness that. My kids may never witness that.
You gonna have kids?
Yeah, of course.
How many?
I haven't gotten that far yet, but I will curse them with the illness of being Jet fans. I'll tell you that.
See, that's what I don't understand. By the way, have you ever seen Super Bowl III?
Dude, I've watched Super Bowl III front to back. Like you don't even like. I don't even know why I fully have, but it's just instilled in me that I have to. I've watched the AJ Dewey game. I've watched the Browns championship game. I've watched the Heidi Bowl for most of it I can find. It's not fully online.
I was gonna invite you over. Maybe do a watch party Super Bowl III, so you could
I'll watch it
feel
again.
feel
My
that
grandfather's
confetti.
birthday is on that day. He was 18 years old the day they won.
See, you're like a diehard Jets fan. I respect it. You go to a bunch of games or no?
In my life, I've probably said I've been in about like 30 games, maybe. You know what got really bad is like when this Zach Wilson era,
Yeah.
that's when I started to like have my own money and like I wasn't in school anymore and I could drive. So then it was like, oh, I have free will now. And my dad always used to say, like, you sit there after they get blown out or they have an awful loss and then go sit in traffic and
Yeah.
you're never gonna want to go to a game ever again.
Yeah.
And then I learned that the hard way because I had to do it during the Zach Wilson era, and I went to, a lot of games that year. The year that they got Rodgers for the first time, Sal, I bought 8 pairs of tickets. 8 games I prepared for
Why wouldn't you just buy season tickets? Because I thought about getting season tickets that year myself.
because I have a strategy, and I don't know if I want to open this to the public. It's nothing malicious necessarily, but I have I guess I could say it. I wait normally until the final second to buy tickets so I can get tickets that I would never be able to afford like up front. And I
Is
don't
that how you got
mind.
those Mets tickets where you ran into Mrs. Cohen?
Do you want me to tell that story?
No, we could save that for another day. But is that how you got those tickets? What I want you to do is answer the
No,
question about it.
I
I'm
sat
still.
third row left field. It wasn't, but I did wait last second. Yeah, I did wait last second.
Oh, no, but I thought you said that you sat down on the spot where like really great seats. It looked like they were behind home plate or something that day.
Are you messing with me right now?
No, I thought maybe I
No,
screwed that
she
up.
offered me seats because I didn't know what they were doing there,
You ran
and
in.
I
Okay, you could just tell the story. You ran
tell the
into
story.
Alex Cohen.
No, I didn't run into. They have that BOGO thing or the grab and go bag, whatever the
Mhm.
case may be. And I went up there. It was closing in like the 5th or 6th inning.
Like
I gave
a blind prize or whatever. You pay
yes.
for it, and yeah, I like that.
A blind bag, and
Yeah.
they were like, "Hold." The guy pulls my number out. He's like, "Hold on, 1 second." Comes back. Alex Cohen was there. I had no clue who, and I'm so sorry to Mrs. Cohen and the Cohen family. I was also on another planet, if you know what I'm saying.
No, I
Um,
don't know what you're saying.
Snoop Dogg.
Like what? Weed?
I'm I'm not
You didn't. I
confirming
didn't
or
get the.
denying.
I didn't get the results of the drug test in yet. So.
It's legal now.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, not under the Sal Licata Corporation.
Have you ever heard of the Benjamin Franklin?
No.
Benjamin Franklin. Look it up.
Okay. All right. So go ahead.
And
Yes.
basically, Mrs. Cohen comes in. She's asking, like, "Oh, like, are you enjoying the game? How you like the season so far?" And I was kind of giving like my inside baseball like opinion, And I'm like, yeah, this effing team, they got to get bullpen arms. They got to get another front end starter. I remember Sonny Gray was a big kid. I think this is 23. And I'm like, they got to go get Sonny Gray. Like, giving her a rundown, having no clue who she is. Like, thinking she just works at the stadium. And she was like, "Oh, who you here with? Your brothers, your family?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here with my brothers in left field." And she's like, "Oh, it's too bad because if you only had one other person with you, I'd tell you we have seats for you behind home plate." And I didn't know that's what she was insinuating because I didn't know she was Alex Cohen. So she's like, "Well, that's a shame, whatever. But like, here's a Jeff McNeil game used autographed jersey, which I'm staring at right now, which is
Oh,
crazy.
you
I sent
still
you a pic.
have it?
Yeah, I thought it's a cool moment despite not really being a
Yeah.
big McNeil fan. Um,
Okay. So great story. Can we get back to the Jets thing for a second?
please,
So
please.
you buy tickets last second. So the Rodgers thing season, you got hyped up. I did too. I had just moved to Jersey at that particular point, and I'm like a
Mhm.
half hour from MetLife. So I'm like, this is great. I'm gonna go to football games. And I went to one. I want to say, was it opening night? They played the Pats opening night, week 3. Is that accurate?
The Pats game was a day game. That's when they
No,
had
no,
Mac
no.
Jones still.
No, whatever it was a night game. I'm talking about with Aaron
No,
Rodgers
that's 20. You're thinking about 24.
when he came back healthy.
I was
I'm
at that
sorry.
game too.
Okay, so
That
was
was a
that the
therapeutic game for me.
it
Therapeutic.
was Thursday night football?
Thursday night football. And they should
Okay,
have
and
scored like
was that their
45 points.
home opener?
No, no, that was
Are
like
you sure
week
about that?
3.
It
Was it
was
their
week
home
3, but it might
opener?
have been their home opener.
Oh, I think it was because you know what? They started in San Fran, then they went to Tennessee, then they played the
Bingo.
Patriots.
Yeah, so it was their home. So I went to that game and uh, like even though they won that game, just I don't know, man. I like football games. I like watching football games at home. I don't like going to games. But hearing you talk about it and starting to get excited about the Jets, then I start to get excited thinking, "Oh yeah, let's go to the games and we can have fun." But then every time I'm there, I'm like the traffic sucks. The food's not great. The stadium I can't stand. Getting out of there is a nightmare. And I'd
The
rather
air
just be at home
conditioner?
watching them.
The air conditioner? That's what it is. It's an air conditioner.
Yeah, I know.
Look at the window units and did you go to that game with the great Brian Myers?
I did. Yes, I did go to. How
What a
do you know?
legend!
Well, you just looked
Because
this up as we.
no, I remember you talking about it on the fan.
Yeah, I did. I went with Brian Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins in the
Dude, you got to
WWE.
get me and Brian Myers in contact. Our Jet ball knowledge, we'll go back and forth for days.
Done. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. I love him. He's a great dude. We
I'll
could go to a
take him
game
to the
together.
games. You give me the tickets, I'll take him.
No, no. What do you mean? You think he wants to go with you without me? Are you
I
out of
was
your
at
mind?
Brian Myers. One of his great moments, he was wearing Jet gear. Him and Zack
Yeah,
Ryder at the time,
WrestleMania. What was it?
WrestleMania 35.
Yeah, 35. Okay.
In
All right.
MetLife Stadium, he won the tag team championships.
I know. I
Yeah.
know about the history, at least their history. All right. Let me move on to another topic here, Bada Booms. Good job right there.